Every guy knows what not to do during a breakup. Even if they end up doing it anyway, they at least logically know that they shouldn't be doing things like begging her, chasing her, pleading, just take me back, or worse, just reply, I'm begging you. So I wanted to make a video about some mistakes that men make during the breakup that are unconventional, that most men don't realize they're actually making. Let's jump right into it with the first point. The most important point is that while the breakup is happening, you didn't let her know that you even cared. I pride myself on being strong, on being a securely attached individual, but this is something that I really struggle with. And I've had multiple girlfriends tell me the same thing, is that I'm too cold in a relationship and I'm too cold during the breakup to where they didn't think that I even cared. And what this looks like is you during the breakup not telling her that you wish she would have stayed. Now, I'm not saying that you beg or do anything like that, but most guys, it comes out like this, one of two ways, and they're both extreme. One is the begging, the pleading, the chasing, which every guy's pretty much familiar with. But then the complete opposite side of that is telling her, I don't care. I don't even love you anymore. Go ahead, leave, see if I care. And then blocking her, completely detaching, and never talking to her again, which I have tried to do. And yes, they've always come back. And that's not because I was necessarily the greatest in that relationship or in that breakup. You think you're being cool. You think you're being masculine. You think you're being strong by not telling her that you love her, that you wish she would stay. You don't want her to leave because, God forbid, you appear vulnerable to the woman that you love, or God forbid you even tell her. And yes, I am telling you as a man, there have been entire relationships that I have gone through without ever telling her, and more than one, without ever telling her that I was in love with her. Do I regret those now? Yes. Would I ever take them back now? No. But I still regret not being man enough to tell her how I felt about her when the timing was appropriate. Telling a woman that you're in love with her while she's trying to break up with you is manipulative. Don't pull that card. You're supposed to only pull those cards, the I love you card, the I'm thinking about you card, whatever, during emotionally high moments with your partner. Using those same cards as a get out of jail free card is manipulation. It's toxic at best. Yes, being too cold will hurt her feelings. It'll warm your ego for a little while, but she'll be able to detach and get closure from you much quicker than if you were man enough to tell her how you really felt and how you really wish she would stay. Now, again, this is not begging. You're not pleading with her on your hands and knees. You're just telling her in your own words that you still love her, that you really wish this would work out, but you understand. Because sometimes women just say that to test you. And I know it's not fair and it's kind of a little bit toxic on their end. But the point is, they just want to know that you care about them. Sometimes you just need to open your woman up and you need to get her to talk to you. And this is how you do it. You don't shut down on them emotionally because it causes them to shut down on you emotionally. And before you know it, something that started out so innocent can lead to the end of that relationship. Don't forget, in every single one of these videos, in the description is my link. If you want to take your situation seriously, schedule something with me. And where guys go wrong here is they mistake that cold indifference for discipline, for emotional strength, for masculinity. And it's not. A real man will say how he feels. Now, he's not always going to act on it. He's not always going to follow that path. He's not always going to indulge himself in his feelings, but he's man enough to admit to himself, first of all, and then to his woman, if necessary, how he actually feels about her. Letting her know you still care during a breakup is fine. Bleeding all over her emotionally is not. She doesn't regret losing a man who never cared. She regrets losing a man who truly loved her. And if you think you're going to play this cold, detached, cool James Bond type character, she's going to be able to detach from you even quicker, and it's going to make you look like an idiot. Here's another one. You stopped leading just because you lost her. Let me back that up. I know that that relationship is done. The breakup has happened and you're wondering, okay, what are you talking about leading? What do you mean? You were the man during that relationship. At least I hope you were. You held frame. You were the one in charge of that entire dynamic. But when she walked, you stopped leading, not just the relationship, because that's gone, not just her because she chose to leave. You stopped leading yourself. What that looks like is you losing your mission. Let me give you an actual example of this from my own personal life. Back in college, when I was 18 years old, I was going to college in Chicago. She was going to college in Florida. I knew that where I was supposed to be was Chicago. She knew where she was supposed to be was Florida. Whenever we broke up, I wanted to move and actually looked into going to college in Florida instead of where I currently was, where I was supposed to be. Now, luckily, I didn't end up doing that, but that's what it looks like when you start to lose frame, whenever you start to place her above your goals and missions in life. You start to change your life around her. And when she leaves, you start to adjust your life in the best possible way of getting her back without realizing that that's actually how you lose her even faster. If your identity crashes whenever she leaves, that's a big indicator that it was way too wrapped up in her and that you placed her on a higher pedestal than your mission in life. A woman can sense that, and it makes her lose respect for you, and without respect, a woman will never be able to love you. Number 3, you tried to win her back instead of making her regret losing you. And those are two very different paths. See, one man, the man who's trying to win her back, is going to send her these long texts, maybe even an actual letter. He's going to send her flowers. He's going to blow up her phone. He's going to do every single thing he can because Hollywood told him and Disney convinced him that that's how a man acts whenever they're scared to lose the woman that they love. My guy, they are lying to you. That is not what a woman responds to positively. The man who makes her regret leaving is not focusing on her. He's focusing on himself. He's not mean. He's not mad. He's not bitter. He's not passive aggressive. And that's a big one. Don't be passive aggressive, guys. That's a feminine trait. Say what you mean to say or shut the hell up. That man is working on himself. He's actually working on his bank account. He can tell you every single month that not only is he a little bit richer, he's a little bit leaner. He's got a little bit more muscle. He's still on his path in life. And yes, maybe he had to take a couple days off work to deal with this. Absolutely fine. Maybe he needed an extra vacation that year. Absolutely fine. But it did not stop him one bit. He just kept going. He just kept grinding. And that man can be you as long as you are able to detach from that woman. And the craziest part of this is you would think that the guy that actually tries to win her back, the guy that actually tries to get her to talk to him, is the guy that she would want, the guy that would have the biggest odds of getting her back. But it's not, because that's not what women respond to. Women want the man that doesn't want them, or at the very least doesn't place them as a high priority in their life. She wants to have an important role, don't get me wrong, but that role goes to a woman who has proved herself to you. That's why you don't give away that position easily and you make them work for it, because they know while they're working for it that they're working for something that not many women have had before me. And actually, I might be the first woman who's ever got to him like this. That makes her feel special. That's a good thing. You can tell her that after she's earned it. Number 4, you're too damn emotional. Now, I'm not just talking about being too sad, being too depressed after the relationship ends, because I think most guys do feel like that, right? We don't want her to see that. We don't want her to know just how much she's actually affected us, so we tend to hide it, which is good, by the way. But there's another side to this sadness, and it's called anger. This is when we start to lash out at people. We start to lash out, seriously, at our friends, at our family, at anybody around us, when it's not them who's hurt us. What's the saying that says, if you don't heal what hurt you, you'll end up bleeding on people who didn't cut you? Another point is that whenever you get too emotional, and it doesn't really matter what emotion this is, right? Good or bad, sad or mad, she knows that you have no control over yourself. If you think that that's going to make her more attracted to you, you are fooling yourself. She wants a man that is grounded, a man that is constantly in control of what he can and cannot do. So any emotion that you have, if you're not able to ground it in yourself, in your masculine, she knows that she can't even trust you with her emotions, let alone with your own. It's like, how is she supposed to trust you to be able to handle business if you can't even handle yourself? Now, I know that that is a lifelong journey and that no man truly masters himself. But the point is, it's a path that you must always be on. Always. If you think you're going to freak out, punch holes in the wall, drive by her house, scream at her, leave her angry, threatening messages, or even write them in letter, which I've seen, which are crazy, that is going to make her run so far, so fast, and never look back. That's when you legitimately become the psycho ex, and you don't want to be that guy. What do you do instead? You go silent with intent. That means on purpose, without emotion. In other words, you're not going silent because you're mad. You're not going silent because you're sad. You're going silent on purpose because it's the best possible move for you. Too many men lead with their emotions. And I understand that it's sort of part of the human condition that we will do things based on emotion, and then we use our logic to explain away why we did the thing. That's a universal human element. I understand that. But part of being a man is not only recognizing that, but changing it to where most of your decisions need to be made logically. What that means, what that looks like, is you going and doing things on purpose. In other words, life doesn't just happen to you. You make life happen. You are the one in charge of your decisions. And hey, spoiler alert, a big part of that is having enough money to say, you know what, yes, or you know what, no, and actually meaning it. Isn't it funny how life really does come down to money? You'd think more men would focus on that, but instead we're too focused on chasing tail, and we wonder why later in life we didn't get the Lambo, we didn't get the mansion that we wanted. Then, and even worse, you have guys that are my age that actually did want that kind of stuff when they were younger that are unable to say to themselves, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. I actually failed in many areas in my life. So what they do, because they can't face that, their ego's too high. So what they say is, yeah, well, there are more important things in life. And it's like, yeah, you do that, buddy. Have fun. I'm going to go drive my Porsche and 4 of my girlfriends around this weekend. It's like, yeah, well, you won't have emotional depth. It's like, yeah, you won't have your wife in 4 years, so we'll see who wins. I'm going savage today, bro. Make it sound like having a wife is a bad thing, and I don't want to come across like that. I would love to settle down and find the woman, okay? But, you know, it's a process. Become the man she assumed you'd never be. And maybe deep down, she hoped you would be. Because part of a woman being with you is her wishing the best for you. It's her somewhere deep down knowing that you haven't reached your full potential, and she's really interested to see what that looks like. Her leaving you is a way of her telling you you'll never reach your full potential. What I saw in you is not a level you're capable of reaching. That's why you need to be on your grind every single day. You need to be out there working every single day. Bro, there are no weekends with this. There is no break. There is no vacation. You think you're going to do something great and have all Christmas weekend or have all New Year's weekend or all Thanksgiving or all these other things to just take 4, 5, 6 days off and not work. It's like your days off are for people who don't have dreams or for people who have already made it. It's like, bro, I don't know what you're really trying to accomplish in life, but you need to get the on it. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Even if you think, honestly, in the heart of your hearts that your ex is never going to reach out to you again, you're never going to get her back, I can tell you something with 100% facts. That woman is going to click on your profile. She's going to wonder about you one day, and she's going to click on your profile, and it's up to you what she sees. She can see the same boy that she left, or she can see a man that is successful, that is getting everything he ever wanted in life, and she can feel at that moment that she was the one that missed out on you. That's why in your mind, you have to reframe the breakup as her loss. This is because, generally speaking, women control access to sex. You control access to the relationship. That's why women use sex to get the relationship and men use the relationship to get sex. Her not being in a relationship with you is her loss. She can't get what she had with you with any other man easily. She's going to have to really look for that. And that's not going to happen with her next Tinder match. I know she's going to try to move on as fast as humanly possible. She doesn't want to sit with her feelings, her ego, and her emotions and let herself feel the loss of you. Her pride is not going to let her do that. She's going to bury it. But I'm telling you right now, it will resurface one day. And when it does, it's going to be a lonely night. Her date's going to disappoint her. Tinder's going to piss her off. Something like that's going to happen. And when she hasn't heard from you in a while, she's going to get real curious, and that's when she's going to check. And if she sees some sad, stupid, angry, passive-aggressive crap all over your profile and all over your life, you're going to turn her off, and she's going to go, maybe this time permanently. So it's up to you, bro. What do you want her to see? Little bro, you've got this. And I've got you. I'll see you in the next one.